All right, hello again, collective. Dil Divine here, coming back after a very long hiatus. I don't want to waste too much time. I'll get into the storyline in a blog post later. Before we jump into the card reading, we're going to begin with an opening energy calibration and prayer that's going to help us sync up with our guides, reset our energy, and put ourselves in a more receptive mode so that we can receive these messages in as grounded and as open-hearted and open-minded a manner as possible. So if you are able to sit and get yourself comfortable and take some deep breaths and close your eyes, I highly invite you to do that. However, if you're, driving, moving around, out and about, yet you still want to hear this meditative prayer and calibration, allow it to just wash over you, similar as if you were using a Reiki video or a subliminal in the background, okay? So without further ado, let's simply connect with some nice extended inhalations, like full belly breaths inward, and full exhalations and releases outward. We're using the breath to help our nervous system calm down, bringing our focus into center, into the intention at hand, allowing the body as well to melt, to relax, and to receive. And for today, I want to invite at the top for you to imagine, visualize, connect with, if you can, a teal turquoise energy or light. So with your inhalation, we're going to inhale this teal energy from way up above our heads, as if it's from the center and the heart of the universe or the cosmos above, so to speak. And so with the inhalation, we're going to receive this teal light and energy flowing all the way down, down, down to us, through us, to and through us, the center of our body and our energetic core. With each inhalation, allowing this energy to fill us up, all of our cells, all of our DNA, all of our being, our embodiment, energy current flowing down, 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 to and through the feet, to and through the root, our own root chakras, connecting all the way with the heart of Mother Earth Gaia below with this inhalation. And with your exhalation, I want to invite you to imagine that beautiful teal turquoise light coming back up from the heart of Mother Earth Gaia, further supported by our sacred ancestors, flowing back up to and through our roots, through our feet, through our root chakra, through our energetic column, our whole being, going back up, out, and onward through the crown, connecting with the exhalation with that heart, the center of the cosmos, the universe above. So essentially it's an inward, downward current with the inhalation. And then as we exhale, we feel an upward, onward, and outward current, okay? So inhale down, exhale up. And continue to receive this beautiful teal turquoise light, helping us to really connect with relaxation, with the breath of life, recalibrating and reattuning our own vibration with the optimal rhythm and energy available to us at this time, especially here on Earth. And play with this light, play with this energy in your imagination, letting your intuition guide you while I call upon our guides and spirit more formally. And of course, as always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Oh, holiest spirit, holiest spirit, holiest spirit, holiest ancestors, angels, guardian angels, holiest deities, gods, goddesses, Neteru, holiest ascended masters, Atlanteans, Lemurians, Lyrans, Minticons, Pleiadians, Syrians, Andromedans, Octurians, holiest starseed allies, family, friends, and lineage, holiest and beloved sacred power animals, Mayan oracles, holiest dragons, fairies, mermaids, and unicorns, holiest and beloved inner children and adolescents, highest and holiest selves, highest and holiest celestial, divine, soul, spiritual beings, family, and tribe of the highest vibration and the purest intentions, I call upon you all now to please cleanse and purify, center and ground us all to and through unconditional love, light, and pure source energy. O holiest spirit team and tribe, I ask that you allow me to be a pure and unbiased channel in service to divine will, respecting the free will and divine timing for all parties involved and impacted by this reading, this calibration, and beyond. I thank you so much for this privilege and opportunity to be of service. May we receive reactivating and recalibrating wisdom here in this now, especially for the collective I'm tuning into, reconnecting with our magic, reclaiming our magic, reconnecting with our powers and superpowers, reclaiming our powers and superpowers across all time, space, and dimensions, once again in alignment with divine will and divine timing. With this sacred teal light, I feel and I call upon and I welcome specifically holiest angel, high angel Sandalphon, to please lend your wisdom and grace, as well as ground us in a foundation of rest, relaxation, and peace. May we melt away through this prayer and this reading and beyond any and all anxiety, overexcitement, hyperactive energies that do not serve, any static or distortions to our frequency that do not serve. May we receive this word from a place of ease. May we receive divine guidance, support, and wisdom that helps us bring into optimal health, wealth, and wellness, once again across all time, space, and dimensions. I open to you and to your wisdom, your clarity, your insight, while respecting all boundaries, all privacy, all spiritual and universal laws of the Most High. Again, I thank you for this privilege and opportunity to be of service, O holiest spirit team and tribe of the Most High, as well as holiest Sandalphon specifically. So with these sacred and shared words and our sovereign intentions, may this holy container be officially and sacredly opened, upheld, sustained, and empowered once again to and through unconditional love, light, pure source energy, and especially your teal turquoise ray of wisdom, healing, and the breath of life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And allow yourself to take a big breath into your heart space. Exhaling, grounding all this down. And if you haven't already, you're welcome to open your eyes, rejoin us here. Thank you all so much for this brief prayer and meditation open up for this reading. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video and put the reading in the next one, which you can follow up right after this. And again, I'm Dil Divine, your friendly neighborhood prayer muse, oracle, and soul guide. And so glad to be with you on this journey. Now let's pull some cards and see what Spirit has in store today. All right, hello again, collective. If you just followed me from the prayer and energy calibration that preceded this video, welcome back. Otherwise, if you're tuning in, just jumping right into the card reading, welcome. We've got some goodness for you. I've been calling upon, in addition to our holiest spirit team in general, I was feeling guided to connect with and welcome in the energy of the holiest high angel Sandalphon, who I often associated with breath, breathing, breath of life, taking it easy, connecting with the harmony and rhythm of the universe, as well as divine timing. So musicality and dance may also be some signs and synchronicities that are tuning into this, as well as Spirit, thank you Spirit, just popped back into my head. A synchronicity that's been popping up the last several days that they really, I guess, really want me to bring into this reading is it's not limited only to people in the Bronx, but anybody who has any connections. You've been hearing a lot about the Bronx, maybe New York City at large as well, but especially the boogie down Bronx and stuff like that. Yeah, like the boogie down Bronx, anything like that. This may extra resonate with you. I'm not from the Bronx. Like I have peoples and friends from the Bronx. I'm really originally from Long Island. I'm Dil Divine, your friendly neighborhood queer muse, oracle, and soul guide, by the way. But yeah, so these are just some of the synchronicities that may make this message extra relevant. I always pray and intend that this reaches the people in divine timing. So I do timeless readings. So whenever this pops up on your feed, it's meant for you. And if it happens to be in real time / very close to when it was posted, bonus. But all right. So with the intention, thank you, Soundophone. This is about stepping back into reclaiming and reactivating our powers, our superpowers and magic, whatever resonates with you. And I recently was blessed to be on a trip to Mexico City for Pride to promote some of the naked beach tours, Jet's naked beach tours in particular, that I'm a team member of, at least at time of recording, present time, right? And with that, I ended up going to a tarot store and got some new decks that are especially superhero themed and magic themed. So, Spirit, holiest soundophone, which deck do we want to use to open? Okay, we're gonna start with the, what is this one? Magic of Marvel deck. Now, I always go with what's intuitively channeled before I check a guidebook. No shade to the authors, no shade to anybody who uses the books a little bit more strictly. I always go with what's coming through off the dome now. That's going to be relevant. So we're going to open with one of these Magic of Marvel cards. Superpowers right out the gate. And let's see what's T, Spirit. Holiest soundophone. How can we use the Magic of Marvel to help inform the collective? What is the opening wisdom and message? Thank you so much. We've got a card. We have Miss Marvel. I am part of something bigger. Okay, I'm gonna show that to the screen. So Miss Marvel, I am part of something bigger. And they're really having me color-wise. I know we're operating and receiving, thank you, Soundophone. We're using the teal turquoise energy that I used during the energy calibration and prayer in the last video to help. Okay, Spirit is doing recalibration to really harmonize, thank you. Harmonizing our vibration and frequency, bringing us back into optimal alignment. So there's a lot of this is like, it's happening on a foundational, almost background layer and level. Thank you for our sovereign intentions. So with that being said, Spirit is having me really focus in now on the yellow energy, the yellow light, tapping into maybe some solar plexus chakra work as well, specifically. Ooh, thank you. There is this illumination, this yellow light of illumination and activation. I'm feeling it in a lovely way, in a joyful way, because I also associate yellow with joy many times, with this electricity and this vibrance, even that, you know, lightning bolt on her chest. Thank you, Spirit. I mean, point blank, period. This is why Spirit is having me lead with this intention today in Holosandophone, with this re-energy, the reactivation, the reclaiming of our powers and magic. It is time. It's time to show up. I almost said it's time to step up, but Spirit is like, it's like, you're already on the right layer and level. You're already there. You don't really need to step up further. You simply need to show up, show out and perform, show up and serve. I am part of something bigger. Spirit is essentially knocking, tapping, gently nudging, a little bit of come hither energy. Do your duty. With great power comes great responsibility, very in alignment with this Marvel deck. At the time this is finding you, for most of y'all, this really is a confirmation to get back at it. To get back into the active practice and sharing of your powers, your magic, your gifts, and your abilities, okay? This is, you are a vital member of the team. You are a vital member of the team. Do not, please do not, everything I say is never to command you, it's always an intention. A spirit put the hair in my mouth, cat got my tongue. Not that I have a cat. And these are the distractions too that's coming in. I keep seeing in my mind, I'm gonna place this here. She's gonna be like a presiding card on this reading. I keep seeing in my imagination, my mind's eye, Spirit is showing me comic book panels, flashbacks of when I watched a YouTube video that went over the Krakoa era of the X-Men. And I know you're like, what are you talking about? Basically, there was a character, Firestar, and it showed her in a bar drinking numbing herself, essentially, it was as if she was out of commission. She was not actively using her powers. She wasn't an active member of a team. Essentially, she wasn't actively showing up for her duty, for her calling, for her responsibility. Now, with superheroes, in general, we see it as like, oh, they go around stopping bad guys and villains and ideally saving lives, helping people, protection, that sort of vibe. Now, not all of y'all are going to be doing that. Some of you may be. However, more so, it's this energy of when Jean Grey showed up. I can't remember if it was in person or simply telepathically, but spoiler alert, basically, they needed to make her a sleeper cell agent to basically seem as if, now I'm not saying you have to do this double agent infiltration type of mission, but Spirit is like, wake up. We need you back on the front lines. Wake up. We need you back in active service. So if some of y'all, now maybe some of y'all may have been more in your cups, maybe more in overindulgence, maybe more in a numbing state. Not everybody. For others, it may have been a very extended rest and or isolation period or hermitage, going more inward. All of these seasons and cycles are relevant. All of these seasons and cycles bring us lessons and deeper wisdoms to integrate and process. So it is okay to take a step back from front line. For example, this Miss Marvel is coming for me alone, not coming for me in the negative way, but basically that's why I'm in front of the camera here and now recording and doing a reading again. Spirit is like, get back at it, get into it. And it's time. It's time. Share your gifts, share your talents, show up and show out. You may have your unique role in which you're doing it, where maybe you are moving, you're still moving, but maybe you're moving a little bit more quietly, operating from the inside out of a certain system and essentially going to rebel and break through from the inside out. For others, it's simply showing out as you are on your various platforms or in your various settings, businesses, workplaces, gathering halls, whatever it may be. Show up and show out. Get into it. Do the thing. Do the thing. Okay, we're gonna get into part 2. I'm parsing this out for the TikTok collective because even though I'm gonna put this on YouTube as well, but basically doing it in the 10-minute segments because it just makes it easier. So we're gonna jump back in and we're gonna get a magic card to help us activate the magic. This was like the call and the wake up. Now we're gonna get back into the magic. All right, here, this is going out in about a couple seconds. All right, so we're back for part 2 of the reading, part 3 if you watch the prayer. We already went over what Miss Marvel called us in to show up. You are part of something bigger. You are a member of the team. It is time for you to use your powers. Even if you feel like Miss Marvel, where you're feeling a little bit more maybe in like an adolescent or younger energy, regardless of your age, but maybe you're not feeling in peak confidence, maybe not recognizing yourself in your prime form. Spirit is like, baby, you're not going to feel that way. You're not going to get that way if you're not using your powers. You're not going to feel it. It's not going to hit until you start applying and using your wisdom, your gifts, and your talents and your magic. So let's get a magic card. Now this one's funny because it's also literally magic. Even though I didn't really play this game like with the cards growing up, I didn't have it. I played some video games when I was young. Magic the Gathering Oracle deck. I felt intuitively guided to this one. The artwork is incredible. The messages seem to really hit. The energy is fire. So we're gonna get a magic card. Spirit, how can we, for this collective, how can we apply this? We've received the call, we received the wake-up call from Miss Marvel. We're acknowledging and accepting, take it if it resonates, acknowledging and accepting that we are part of something bigger. We are part of the team. What do? Okay, we have Nylia with nature, and she's giving me archer vibes. She's got bows and arrows. Now, I did get this card one time in the past, so I know these arrows can represent different seasons and cycles, which is relevant, and Spirit wanted me to highlight that. But get into Nylia, nature. Look at her pose. Also, look at how, those lines on the body, it's giving me, You know when people point out a constellation in the sky and they connect the dots to show you like it is the constellation, like for example, like the Big Dipper or whatever, it's like there are the points, the stars, but then they'll draw the white lines. It's giving me that vibes. So, mhm. There's something about like astrology being particularly relevant or resonant right now. If anybody of y'all, excuse me, if any of y'all have been called to, checking into your birth charts, looking up your astrological weather, this could be an affirmation confirmation for that. Not required to. However, there's something about this being written in the stars, and it's time for you to essentially draw and knock the arrow back and start like firing the shots. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way. Please don't start coming for people. Don't start being rude, mean, none of that. Like no cruel or unnecessary destruction by any means. There's something about though, these arrows are all face down. They're just standing there right now. And she's been looking, she's been watching. She's been in nature, she's been in recharging. She's been in nature, she's been recharging. She's also, though, it's very eyes wide open in her facial expression. Like the awareness is on point, the awareness is on fleek. There's something about she went into nature, though, for her grounding, for her restoration, for her rejuvenation. And that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. However, it is time for you to reset your sights on your goal, on your intention, on your mark, and pick up the arrow and start to go for it. Make the moves, take the shot. The seasons are always going to pass. Earth and time move forward, spin, okay? There comes a moment though where we are guided to make and take conscious decisions to participate. Coming back into, even though this is a little bit more green, definitely heart chakra, there's a lot of this like teal turquoise energy coming through as well, aquamarine. So playing a lot with the blue and the green. So for those of y'all who want to do some more chakra work, coming into the heart and the throat, we went from solar plexus, heart, into the throat. What are you telling me, girl? For some of y'all, this is acknowledging that you've mastered a recent period of darkness, of being in the shadows, being more in the hermit mode, hermit space, being more outside of the direct light, outside of the spotlight, maybe outside of the public eye. You've been in the woods, you've been in the magical forest, and sometimes it was dark. And you could define that however you want. Yet you're still here. You adapted, you survived, and spirit is now inviting you to come out of the density of the forest on the other side and re-engage with the world. Return to the hunt. I'm feeling like Artemis, Diana goddess vibes. Return to the hunt. See, all right, we'll put homegirl right here. I got these cute little stands recently, so meow. All right, I want to get some tarot to bring this down. So for the tarot, we're going to use the DC tarot, keeping in the superhero theme. Spirit, help us bring this down in a practical and pragmatic level. How can spirit move forward? What are some action steps they're being guided to take? Things to really connect with in their real lived experience. How do we build upon this? Also, before I move on, they are wanting me to say with this nature card, this is not an invitation or a requirement to become a workaholic. This is not an invitation to abandon harmony and balance. This is not to say that you give up taking the time to go into nature, to ground, to connect yourself. It's like do all of that, breathe that deep, fresh, rejuvenating and restoring fresh air as best as you can, wherever you can. And now I'm hearing yes and in my head by Ariana. It's a yes and kind of energy. Wanting you to really show up and show out for yourself. For what you're called to do. It's like have your time for your performance and have your time for rest. Have your time for activity and have your time for nourishment. All right, Spirit, may we please have some tarot cards to bring this further down to earth. Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. Okay. Ace of Swords. Now, I don't know every character in the DC universe, so I have a lot to learn. But this Ace of Swords, I know her name is Katana, and that's a katana sword. I'm going to take this face up. Ooh, I think that's Starfire. Yes, Coriander. I love me some Starfire. So we have Ace of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Bottom of the deck, I knew she was going to be here. Catwoman with the moon. I had a feeling Catwoman was going to be here. Bottom of the deck with the moon. Notice how she's standing there in front of a full moon, illuminated in the back. Normally a character who typically operates in the darkness, in the shadows, to go after what she wants, for better and for worse, you know? Selena Kyle, she's not quite a villain. She's not always a hero. She's more like an anti-hero kind of vibe. However, she does have morals and ethics. Generally, she usually takes from like wildly wealthy people, jewels, diamonds, and or things that can make money so that she could live a better life. And I'm not saying and I'm not advocating or encouraging like larceny, theft, becoming a thief. Like, you know, the universe is very abundant and will provide for you in the ethical ways. What I want to acknowledge, though, is bringing compassion and grace for being a survivor, for being somebody who has wanted better in their life and has gone for it. So especially if you have like quote unquote a checkered past, you weren't always a saint, guess what? That's a part of your journey. Like, and now I'm hearing like, God, what did they, like many people I've heard online, spiritualists say like, God doesn't call the qualified, God qualifies the called. And so often the Holy Spirit and like biblical figures, not that you need to be religious, and divine figures, how many times do they connect with people in society that are on the fringe, on the margins, on the receiving end of a lot of judgment and or persecution and or repression or oppression type of vibes, okay? Those who could benefit most maybe from kindness, compassion, generosity, and understanding. Yet a lot of mainstream, heartless, more robotic programming of society wants to deny or deprive them of type of vibes. There's something coming up where it's like Spirit saying, even if you have been a child, a creature, a being who's been more in the dark night, in the shadows, in the darkness recently, you are still a beautiful being deserving of being illuminated, okay? All right, we're gonna come back into the next part to kind of finish off this reading, so stick with it. Okay, so now we're back into like part 3 of the reading. Left off with Catwoman with the moon card, bottom of the deck. It's time to accept the truth of this calling, to get back into the fray, get back into the front lines, and not let your shadows hold you back. Not let any darkness hold you back. You've risen to the top. It's the full moon. It's the illumination. And full moons are also really associated a lot with like, in addition to manifestation, banishment and releasing, letting things go. Let go what does not serve, because the first card that popped out, very well illuminated, sword on a mask, Ace of Swords with that bright sunlight. And it's time for you to both maybe put on your superhero mask, put on your, whether this literally or figuratively, but essentially wear your power symbols, wear your adornments, like put on your face, your game face, not fake, not false, but it's like show up and show out as you are. Okay, Miss Marvel, you're part of something bigger. Put back on your cape, put back on your mask, put back on your power gauntlets, whatever it could be, your uniform, thank you, Spirit. And embrace this truth and pick up the sword and get back at it. Like cut the crap, cut through the BS. You're not weak, you're not powerless, you are not without some version of tools, resources, or something, especially if I'm reaching you right now. Spirit is saying you have more than enough to get back into the game. You will get better the more and more you play, the more and more you show up. But it's time to get back at it. No more hiding, no more skulking or being paralyzed or immobile in the shadows of the darkness. Light it up. We have Starfire as the second card from the pop-outs in the 3-card spread. Page of Cups. And here she is. All that fiery energy. And very interesting, because normally, I hope this is Starfire, because that's looking like her, hands down. But it's interesting, it's so much orangey flame around her, as opposed to, from the cartoons, I'm used to her very like green righteous fury energy. So there's a lot of owning your yes, thank you, because it's with the cups, with the water suit. Really owning a lot of your sacral energy. Bring it up into the solar plexus, which is more fire, like literal fire element, like applying it, but like really taking that creative, inspired energy through the sacral, through that watery energy center, if you will, energy core, and letting that kind of move you, rise up. I feel this Page of Cups energy is inviting you, like I know in this one, Starfire looks more like a grown-ass adult, pardon me, hope I can say that. But I'm thinking of Teen Titans. And this Teen Titans energy, it's like even if you, and I talked about the adolescent energy in the last one, it's like even if you're feeling a little bit more adolescent, a little bit more new, a little less confident, not peak, not in your prime, they still showed up and showed out. And they had to learn from every villain, every battle, every conflict, every team challenge, every disconnect, every disagreement, and they were not perfect. They also had to learn about forgiveness and discernment. Like think about, even for those of y'all who watched Teen Titans back in the day, like the whole controversy with like Tara and the betrayed with Slade and stuff like that. I feel like for some of y'all, you may have even like actually separated yourself from some shady characters who were trying to like possess and own and capture your talent and kind of make you a member of their team in a very like subordinate and selfish way. Some of y'all, you have really like honestly liberated yourself and had to remind them that it's like, yo, cats have 9 lives. Yo, so even for some of y'all, this is also the confirmation, like a former version of you has passed on. You have gone through a death and a rebirth cycle, and you're like a kitty cat, meow. Like you got multiple lives. Okay, baby, I love kitty cat energy. So we have the Ace of Swords into the Page of Cups. This is like you putting on your superpowers, embracing your truth, and rising up, and like doing what you're creatively and intuitively guided to do, and putting it out there and being willing to offer it, to share it with the world. This could be with another specific group or party. This is a general collective reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Book a personal if you want to get it like more specific. And then we have, which follows that, the Two of Wands. Okay, and look at all of that like electricity. So coming back into this electric vibe that I was talking about in like the first part of the card reading. This like energy column over here, this is like radiating lots of ability. I'm also feeling like it's a gateway or portal the way the 2 power staves are around each other, to be honest. And oftentimes 2s are about making choices and decisions. And in the Rider-Waite Tarot, which is what I normally use, I think about the Two of Wands as a person holding, like, they have the world in the palm of their hands, and it's pretty much on them to decide where do they go next? What is their next move? There is a move to be made, and they can make a move, or they could be passive and essentially be in inaction, but inaction is still a decision. They're having me slow down. And now I'm looking more and more at this card, and it's not quite, but for whatever reason, I'm looking at some of the texture. I don't know if the picture's gonna, or the camera is gonna pick it up, but there's something towards the top that's reminding me of honeycombs, like bees. So bees and honey may be synchronicities and symbols for you at this time, but it's like choose the sweetness. Go for your joy. Go in the direction of joy and trust that you are going to align with the right hive. You're going to align with the right support partners, collaborators. You're not going to have to do this alone. You're going to be a part of a team, the Teen Titans. You will be your own individual badass character like Starfire is, and you're going to be around other badasses. There's a reason why I'm even using these superhero decks predominantly in this reading, because, you know, let's face it, how often do the superheroes start out super alone and then some kind of universal, cosmic, intergalactic, interdimensional event comes along and requires collaboration, not only if you want to survive, if you want to thrive, requires collaboration and partnership if you want to be and stay relevant and not be left behind. Also, even just bringing in partnership, collaboration, and support so you're not overextended and under-resourced and overtired trying to save the whole world by yourself, trying to carry the whole world on your back. So Spirit is saying it's like, make the move. Make the choice to go in the direction of your joy, of what lights you up, what ignites/reignites your spark, what has you feeling electric, what also looks a little bit sweet, because I want to prioritize and invite the prioritization of joy in this as well. It's like, go in the direction, like go after the honey, baby. It's very similar to the pattern on this moon. Actually, like that texture I'm getting. I hope the camera can see it. I apologize if not. But it's that same texture I'm seeing at the top. So it's all connected. I mean, a lot of these cards are showing it in their own unique way, but it's like not every single one. So make the choice. You gotta let your light be seen. You have to utilize your powers. You have to let your current be in flow. So not only you continue to elevate and ascend and raise and recalibrate your vibration, also so that you can attract and manifest the aligned clients, customers, teammates, dates, friends, activity partners, tribe, soul family, soul tribe, soul mates, plural. Both those that are going to be on your level as well as those you are guided to serve. And not to say you're going to be on an above level. I'm not saying that in a rude way, but you know what I mean? Like, there are people where maybe we're meant to give in a certain season and maybe they're not meant to be like our, you know, teammate or partner, but that's the energy exchange. They're giving us the opportunity to give. We're given the opportunity to receive. Okay, we've all got a role to play in any given moment. And it's not about one being better than the other. It's just like, what is the universe guiding right now? So that's honestly, yeah. Period. So get back into it. Ignite your righteous fury. Go after what you want. Show up for your goals. Embrace being a supernova, Kylie Minogue. And it's time to tap back into the intergalactic. Like, get into it. All right, this is about to end. I'm Dil Divine, your Philly Neighborhood Queer Muse, Oracle, and Soul Guide. And book me for a personal if you'd like.